No one wants to talk about their failures. But what we have to understand is when we share those parts of ourselves, it's not to make ourselves look bad, it's to help other people out there who are stuck in similar situations that we know we can help them.
Welcome back to another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. Today we have none other than Suzanne, who's come here to teach us some infinite wisdom about encouraging women. Suzanne, tell us who you are and what do you do?
Oh, thank you so much, Todd. I am so happy to be here. And for those of you listening out there, my name is Suzanne Peters. I am the CEO of the Woman to Woman Network. I specialize in training ambitious women to leverage their story, life experiences, and their voice to build their own profitable business. And if you can't tell, Todd, I love what I do.
That's always a good thing. I love what you do too. As a father and as a husband, I have daughters. I love when people are out there trying to help the women in my life.
I love it. Okay.
So Suzanne, tell us about who is it you're really trying to help? I know women is a very broad topic, a very broad
Yeah.
audience. Who specifically you're trying to help with your business?
Okay. I meet women all the time. These women, a lot of them are stuck in unfulfilled jobs. They're stuck in jobs they don't really like, they don't want to do for the rest of their life. But I mean, we all have bills to
Yeah.
pay. So they do what? They
Yeah.
do what they have to do. But I also meet women who they already have their business owners, some of them for several years, and they are also stuck because they're not seeing any growth in their business. They're not connecting with the ideal
Right.
clients. They don't know what's going on. So both women, I know they sound completely different, but they have one thing in common. They both need my
Yeah.
help.
I
So
see. I see.
So the women who are stuck in their unfulfilled jobs, I show them how they can escape their 9 to 5 and step into entrepreneurship and simply use what they already know. Or as I like to say, teach what you know. Because we all know something. We are all experts at something, whether it's something we learned through our life experiences or something we learned from some specialized training. We are all experts at something. So I help them tap
Right.
into what it is they know, channel that, and structure it in a way that they can teach people what they know to save some people from some of the pain they are going through. And on the other side,
Gotcha.
the
Gotcha.
business owners, it's the same process. It's the same thing in a different process, I should say, because they are already business owners, but it's taking that same thing, what they know, what they specialize in, and putting it in a way that it's connecting their ideal clients to their business. So I sum up both
Gotcha.
women, and I just say ambitious woman. Does
That's
that make
awesome.
sense?
There you go.
Yeah, ambitious woman.
Yeah. There you go.
Because you can find
And
them
so
anywhere.
where are you finding what are if you were to handpick though your perfect 10 or 15 clients, what would you say is the consistent attribute of these women that you like to help?
Mm. They are decisive. They are coachable. They take fast action. They are patient with themselves. They are confident. And when I say confident, they believe in themselves. They may not be
Okay.
confident in implementing certain things yet, but they believe in themselves and they know that they are called to do more with their life than just exist every day.
Awesome.
Mhm.
And how did you start down this journey? That's a great description. How did you start down this journey, and what are some highlights of people you've been able to help so far?
No, that is like two questions in one.
Yeah,
Well,
do
my
your best.
Well, my journey started several years ago. Uh, Let me see if I can sit this nice and keep it well packaged for you. My journey started
Yeah.
several years ago when I was 28. I had been like some of those women stuck in an unfulfilled job. Now, believe it or not, I was in
Yeah.
accounting. I was an accounting officer in one of the largest insurance companies in my country, but I hated it. It was the most boring job in the world. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I had this bright idea to leave my good job and go start my own business. You know how that went,
Yeah.
right?
I know how it goes for most people. Yes. Not so great.
I didn't know anything about running a business or managing employees, so eventually my business failed and I literally lost everything. But for me, the last straw was when I came home and there was an eviction notice on my door. I didn't know what I was
Ooh.
going to do, but I was at a point where I just wanted to give up. So I found
Yeah.
myself just sitting on the floor in my bedroom, just thinking about what am I going to do? I don't want to go on
Yeah.
anymore. You know what? I'm just going to take my life. But luckily
Ooh.
for me, my bad habit saved me at that point. I don't know if you used to do this because I know I'm not the only one, but back in those days when I felt down, I would take out my phone and I would go on YouTube and I would bring up some really depressing music, right? And of course, that only made me
Right.
feel
Right.
worse. So I was sitting there listening to this music, just feeling worse, and just, yeah, decided I'm going to take my life. But the good thing is,
Wow.
my phone was connected to my neighbor's Wi Fi, so it was going in and out. And for a while, it was just stressing me out. But it went out again and just didn't come back, so I didn't take it on. And I literally got up and started searching my apartment for pills. Like, okay, no, I'm just going to end this. I don't want to go on anymore. I am done. For some reason,
Right.
I couldn't find any pills, which was strange because I always had pills. So I sat back down and I'm thinking, I wonder if I were to drink this bottle of bleach. I wonder if it would kill me or if it would only
Oh
hurt
my
me.
gosh.
Yeah, I was literally
Yeah.
wondering if I drink this bottle of bleach, would it kill me or would it hurt me? Because if it hurts me, then I would still have to live with the embarrassment of other people knowing I tried
Right.
to take my life. And I didn't want that. I was
Right.
already embarrassed enough as is. But the funny thing is, just as I was in thought thinking about that, my phone reconnected to my neighbor's Wi Fi. And for some reason,
Yeah.
someone I hadn't listened to in a very long time, I heard his voice say, "There's greatness within you." And for a second, I did get startled because it was so sudden. But then, listen,
Yeah.
I sat there and I started to laugh because I'm like, there's no greatness in me. You don't know me.
Right.
And I was
Right.
literally laughing at myself out loud. If you had simply been passing outside my apartment, you would have sworn someone was
Sure.
tickling me. I was laughing
Sure.
that loud. But that was the distraction I needed because right after that, my laughter turned into tears. And I sat there and I screamed at the top of my lungs because I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to live
Yeah.
that life anymore. But
Right.
sitting
Right.
there,
Right.
that was Les Brown on the line. I listened to him. Then came Lisa Nichols. But I ended up spending that entire night listening to other people's stories. And not ordinary
Yeah.
stories. Stories of people who came back
Right.
from the brink, who changed their life completely and were doing so many amazing things. And I found myself wondering if I could do that. So by the time morning came, I was no longer wondering how to take my life. The question was now, how can I change my reality?
Right.
But of course, I still had to go through some things first. Things got always tend to get bad before they get better. But still,
Sure.
in less than 1 year, I had completely changed my life because of that night. Since then, I have been obsessed with sharing my story. I have been obsessed with helping other people share theirs because of the impact it had on my life. So I teach
Right.
from my experience.
I
So,
love it.
yeah.
I love it. Thanks so much for enjoying this episode of the podcast. I am so glad you're here, and I just wanted to take a few seconds to tell you about a program that we have assembled with a lot of our podcast guests and a lot of people who are listening to the show who are feeling the same way that they do. There's a recurring theme. You'll hear a lot of these founders talk about, I couldn't have done it without my team. I couldn't have done it without a support group of peers. I couldn't have done it without having someone to talk to that understood my feeling of isolation as an operator of my business. You see, you're not alone. It is hard running a business, and it's even harder when you know you can't express all your deepest concerns and frustrations with your executive team. It makes them nervous. It gets them scared. You don't want scared people on your executive team. So where do you turn? The Captain's Council is where you turn. The Captain's Council, it is an organization that we are put together with podcast guests as well as people who are listening who are in the same boat. You see, peers are the only ones that can give you the type of empathy, the type of advice that only a founder or operator know and understand. Go check it out at captainscouncil.com. I know you're going to love what you see there. We have put together an organizational structure that has small group settings, a global community of founders and operators, as well as monthly and quarterly in-person events. You're going to love what you see there. I can't wait for you to check it out and enjoy the rest of this episode. And Suzanne, tell us about how you've been able to take that experience and translate that into other people.
Okay, let me give you this example. Well, remember what I said. You can use your story, your life experiences, and your knowledge to not only help people impact their life, but you can also use it to build a business to generate your income.
Sure.
So, one client that comes to mind is Sharon. Growing up, now I did not know this because when I met her, she was like a fashionista. I mean, she's always looking
Yeah.
good from head to toe. Like, oh.
Right. Right.
And she makes her
Right.
own clothing. She's like really good. But
Wow.
she wanted to start her own fashion business. She wanted to style people and design clothing for them and all of that. And in prying, I asked her, so why this? And how did you get into this? And I asked her a million and one questions. And then I realized
Right.
growing up, she couldn't dress herself for anything. She didn't like her body. She didn't like her feet. She didn't like how she looked in pants. So we took her story of not being confident in her own body, not knowing how to dress to
Right.
suit her body. And we built on that and showed people how she went from there to being this fashionista that everyone knows now. After
Sure.
after I helped her build her business, within 2 days she already had two clients who wanted them
Nice.
to be her
Nice.
stylist. Within a week, she had several orders for a shirt she had designed for one shirt,
Cool.
all because she connected what she does, what she's good at, what she loves with her story. That was just amazing for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's awesome. What do you see as one of the most common challenges of these women you're trying to help?
Fear. No one wants to talk about their failures. No one wants to talk about the unhappy parts of their life, the parts that look really ugly. Everyone wants to keep those things
Yeah.
quiet. So people are like, I ain't going to tell nobody about that. But what we have to
Right.
understand is when we share those parts of ourselves, it's not to make ourselves look bad or anything like that. It's to help other people out there who are stuck in similar situations that we know we can help them. And the only way we can do that
Sure.
is by sharing our own journey. So that's just something for
Right.
people to remember whenever that fear comes up, what are people going to say? What are people going to think?
Right.
But what's going to happen to the people that need to hear what you have to say if you don't say it? So you have to really look at it from
Sure.
the other side, as in the positive impact you would make outweighs the fear that tends to hold so many of those women back.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I love it. I love it. That's wonderful. How and what advice do you give to these people? What helps them make the change?
The change with sharing their story. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, with women in general, with similar type of issue.
I think one of the best things you can do, even if you don't know where to start or you don't know what you want to do or what direction you want to go in, is just to find yourself with a community of people that can support you. Once you have a supportive community, excuse me, once you have a supportive community of people who actually want to see you win and are there to support you and cheer you on, you can accomplish literally anything. However, if you know for a fact, because a lot of them don't know what they want, they just know they want to do something, right? However, if you know for a fact that, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to speak on stages. I
Right.
want to build a business. I want to really come out of my shell and make an impact in the world. My advice to you is to find someone who is already doing what you want to do and do whatever it takes to work with them, to learn from that person. Because I'm pretty sure that person can have a blueprint, a step by step plan that you can follow.
Sure. Smart.
Yeah, they always
Smart.
do.
And who is that person for you? Is there somebody that you'd like to give a shout out to who's been able to kind of guide you and mentor you through this?
I would give a shout out to, there's so many people. How can I choose? I want to give a shout out
I
today
know, right?
to Derek Butts. Yeah, to Derek Butts. He is a
Awesome.
sales coach. He is very good. And he has helped me shape what I do and package it for the, I'm trying to choose my words wisely because there are so many different people involved. But
Sure.
with
Sure. Sure.
the delivery, for instance, I have been doing for some
Awesome.
sales calls for my virtual summits and different things I have coming up. And he has just stepped
Yeah.
in and has been taking control of my sales calls.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
I definitely need to give him a
Good.
big shout out. Derek Butts for the win.
That's a great shout out. Great shout out. Great shout out. Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for being here. I honestly appreciate so much your time and your insights here. And we hope to support you in the Women to Women Network. We're going to put links down below for anyone that wants to see and just figure out what you're up to. And we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
I should have shown it to somebody else. Thank you so much for having me, Todd. I just remember
Oh,
who I
thank
should have
you.
shouted out.
Oh, who should you have shouted out?
Andrena Phillips.
Trina Phillips.
Andrena Phillips. Can I tell you about Andrena and why I say that?
Sure.
Andrena
Sure.
lost her husband earlier this year, a couple of months ago. And we connected at a mastermind event together. And one day
Yeah.
she had sent me a message just like that out of the blue. She sent me a message. Hey, I know we don't live that far apart. Let's meet together and do brunch. And we did that. The conversation was so different. We taught each other things that we didn't know because although we are in similar business, we are in different fields. We were able to just pour
Right.
into each other's businesses so much. And she is the
Awesome.
reason I decided, you know what, Amtrina? I have been thinking about doing these networking events for women. This is confirmation right here. I'm going to start doing it. And she's the reason I started doing those events. So I definitely have
I
to
love it.
shout out Andrena Phillips. Keep moving with
Love it.
Andrena.
I love it. I love it. Wonderful shout outs. We appreciate it so much. And I hope both of them feel the love that you have to share for them. Thank you
I
so
hope so
much.
too. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
All right. We'll catch all of you on the next episode. Thanks so much. Hey there, friends. Todd Wester here. I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode, but I also want to take just a few seconds to let you know about a project that we've been putting together for the last several months, and we're finally launching it, called the Captain's Council. You see, as a CEO or operator of a business, it can feel like you get stuck in your own head a lot of the time. You get challenges that you don't know how to resolve. You get people causing problems in your leadership team that you don't know how to resolve, and it's so hard to overcome those things by yourself. You don't have to anymore. Join the Captain's Council. Captain's Council is a group of other CEOs and operators and owners of businesses where we come together once a month for several hours to discuss the biggest challenges you're facing. You express to the council of 8 to 10 people about what's going on. Where do you feel stuck? And these other people are in the same boat as you. They're running and operating their own businesses. They're your peers. They help you kind of dissect what's happening and help you see things that you may not have seen all by yourself. If you don't have a good, strong network of people around you, come join the Captain's Council. This is going to be something that will change the way you run your business and open your eyes to opportunities that you have never seen without the help of your peer group. Come check it out, captainscouncil.com.